domination while FA Cup champions.
Hello and welcome to Around the Wickets on ThePapare.com, and of course this is Shyam Impett with the expert, former Sri Lanka cricketer and golden boy of my school, Farveez Maharoof.
Morning, Shyam.
How are you doing?
Very good, thank you.
I had to do that. I really had to do that. Farveez, it's been a very interesting week for cricket for Sri Lanka. Lots of interesting things happening. We'll come to the controversies, but first we'll go to the West Indies versus Sri Lanka Test match. You got the scores in brief. It was a good fight back from the second innings onwards from Sri Lanka. Let's quickly look at what happened there. 253 is what Sri Lanka got in the first innings. An amazing knock of 119 not out by the skipper, standing on his own, making sure that Sri Lanka got through to some respect.
Indeed, I mean, I thought he batted really well, took the responsibility of being captain, batting right throughout, and one of the best knocks I've ever seen from Chandimal on a tricky wicket, which had something to the bowlers the entire day.
Yeah.
And his 119 was gold. That's in the aftermath of the first game, after we lost the game, and also winning the toss, batting first on a green wicket. That was a positive call, and him standing by and scoring that magnificent 100.
You would also give props to Kusal Mendes, 45 coming in there, sticking it out, 83 deliveries, he stayed there. It was not the easiest batting conditions.
I think he's in brilliant touch. I mean, the way he batted, he looks like a player who's batting in a different surface, whereas the others were struggling in that wicket. That when that happens to a batsman, that means he's top of his game. And even in the second innings, he scored a magnificent 80 and took some good catches in the first Test match. So he's going through a very good period for himself.
He's making the batting look a lot easier compared to most others, and makes you
absolutely
wonder.
I mean, the way I'm sure that if he was watching on TV, I mean, the way he bats, you seem to have the feeling that he's batting a different wicket, whereas others are batting on a difficult wicket, because he's making things very simple and keeping it very simple, and looks very easy on the eye.
I also was watching the bowling, and Kemar Roach and Shannon Gabriel, they kept it really tight in the first innings. They almost gave nothing away, no width. 5 for 59 to Shannon Gabriel and Kemar Roach with 4 for 49. Your thoughts?
Very impressive. I mean, they were continuously bowling at 140 plus and moving the ball as well. I mean, even at the first Test match, I thought they were brilliant and just keeping up the good work. And when it went to our bowlers, I thought we matched them as well. I mean, I thought Lairu Kumar and Kasum Rajitha bowled really well. Surang Lakmal, as always, at the lead of the pack, bowled well. I thought overall the Test match was brilliant, though it was a draw. I thought we can take lots of positives after the first Test lost. We can take lots of positives to the third Test match. Unfortunately, captain will be missing next match, but I think we still have a good chance, because this momentum can be taken to the next Test match.
Yeah, because like you said, we are definitely going in with the advantage into this game. West Indies might be wondering at the back of their mind whether they were in a situation where they could have lost the game. And Sri Lanka would also take pride in the fact that they bowled really well. They came back really strong in the second innings. West Indies 300 was what they got in the first innings, and they were all out. Sri Lanka coming back 342, setting a target as well of 296 runs, and the West Indies losing quick wickets and just staying there, holding on to their, what's it called, the last bit of thread, so to speak. And Sri Lanka bowling well. Kasum Rajitha again coming there strongly, 2 for 23, and Suranga Lakmal 2 for 48 in that second innings. I think that shows the maturity of our pace lineup as well at the moment, because something we've been struggling with was our pace, and the pacers actually took most of the wickets this time around.
Yeah, I mean even on the fifth day, there was not much turn for Akila Dhananjaya. I mean, the fast bowlers are doing the bulk of the work. And as you correctly said, we can take a lot of momentum to the next game, thinking that we were going for a victory, whereas the Windies were playing for a draw.
Yeah.
And if the weather were holding up better, and the 2 hours what we lost with the controversy, we would have been triumphed, but that's how the game goes.
I guess so. So that's just how it rolls. And moving on from that situation, now the situation at hand is that Sri Lanka captain has been accused of obviously ball tampering. He also goes on to say that he wasn't quite sure what he put on the ball. Now, what are your thoughts on this whole situation? How does this affect the Sri Lankan cricket team? We need to figure out who the next captain is going to be. Obviously, Lakmal is the choice, but is he going to play the third game? What are our spin options? And also the management and the coach. What where do we stand with all of this?
I mean, it's lots of ifs and buts. I mean, first of all, with Dinesh's claim, but that he didn't know, I mean, what was put in his mouth, which is, I thought, pretty not a good excuse to give it. I mean, if after all, I mean, he's been a captain, he could have easily said that, he did it, and he could have admitted it, but it clearly shows, and in the ICC law, it clearly says any artificial substance to be rubbed on the ball is deemed unfair. In this case, they have seen the footage, and for Chandi to come and say, he could have done better in that way. But, it's good to see our management and the SLCs all sticking together and trying to overcome this, I mean, that's what really wants. I mean, we know that, the ICC haven't given the verdict for the punishment for Chandi Khatru Singh and Sangur Singh yet, but it looks bad for the moment. But speaking about the team policies, I think it will be lots of changes to come up with, because if Dinesh Chandimal goes out, the replacement for ideally should be Danish Gunatilaka or Dasun Shanaka, and also the other story would be Suran Lakmal being the vice captain. Will he play the third test match? Because before the test series started, Chairman Selectors Graham Rabroy said that he is going to play for 2 test matches. Right. So he has already played both, but he looks fine physically. He is bowling well. I think he should play and he should captain. And with Ranganehra possibly rested or dropped, we're not sure what's happening there. But with the leadership lacking in Chandimal being out for he needed some leaders in the field, I would definitely have Rangana back straight off with Akhil Dhananja. I mean, Akhil Dhananja bowled well, but just that under the circumstances, we need to have experienced players in the middle because captain is not playing. So lots of ifs and buts. I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see in the next 2-3 days what are the management going to think, how are they going to overcome this, and the verdict to come about the second charge of, erasing that 2 hours and all these things. So, it's all in all, it will definitely affect, but that's where the character of the team will come, and then this boys has to stick together and come up times.
I think it's actually a good opportunity for the team to, like you said very rightly, show character, take leadership, fill in those gaps, and come on board as a leader and show that they got the fight in themselves and they can actually see us through this. Coming back to the coach and the manager, they actually are charged for conduct contrary to the spirit of the game. The charge carries a punishment between 4 to 8 suspension points, which translates to 2 to 4 tests or 4 to 8 ODIs and T20s. Now, if that happens, what would be the backup plan for the team in terms of a coach and a manager?
I mean, there are plans. I mean, we got enough experience, backroom staff to take over. But it's quite sad, ICC coming down so harshly. Just I mean, it shows the benchmark has been set after the Australian ball tampering incident. The benchmark has been set so that no one would take the law to their hands. So it's a bit of a tricky situation for all of us. You know, so it's a matter of time how we overcome this, as I said before. And answering your question, do we have enough experience backroom staff? I would say definitely yes. With Rumesh Ratnayak is there as a bowling coach and few other coaches, good coaches in Sri Lanka, they can take over as well. But those are all after the West Indies, so we have enough time to think about it and take it forward. Right.
So we've had a lot of controversy on the field and off the field. Recently, the sports minister actually asked Mahela Jawadna, Kumar Sangakkara, Muthai Mullidharan, Aravinda De Silva and Roshan Mahanama to come on board with developing SLC and taking it forward for the game itself. All 4 of them vehemently rejected the offers. Your thoughts, my friend?
I mean, all 5 of them actually. 5 of them said they don't have the trust in the policy. So as expected, Mahela clearly said that last 18 months or so he's been working towards the betterment and he was putting up a structure, but nothing continued, nothing happened in action. So all 5 of them, as expected, gave the answer, and I think Honourable Minister Faisal Mustafa is trying to get them on board by having a meeting and stuff. But at the moment, this is what stands, and it's not the ideal situation because company authority running the ISLC for the moment, and you need experienced people guiding, especially at this point where some ball controversy and an important tour of South Africa coming up. We need to have a settled cricket board as well as a cricket team. So it's not the ideal situation to be in Sri Lanka cricket these days, but as I said, this way all the characters have to come in and stand together.
There you have it, strong words coming out from an outspoken and strong all-rounder himself, Farveez Maharoof. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you, Shyam.
It was good fun. Now, last week we asked a question as to whom Farveez Maharoof got his hat-trick against. And the answer, in fact, was...
against India in Double Asia Cup 2010.
You remember that very well, don't you? I remember that too. It was an amazing game, and we had some good times watching you play back in the day.
I mean, although I think probably the best day in my career. I mean, taking hat-trick and taking the fifer in that game, especially in Asia Cup, big occasion.
Those were good days. And the question for this week is, how much did Dinesh Chandimal score in his debut test innings? Hit us up with your answers at the bottom in the comment section and let us know, and in fact we'll pick a winner and let you know. And on that note, thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you after the third test.